Hi there. Most people simply love spending every penny they'll earn. Sam is 23 and he loves spending money. He's like most of us. He doesn't save money because he has a stable job with a salary of $36,000 after taxes. That covers all of his expenses, mortgage, car, and the new fancy phone he recently bought. As time passed, Sam gets married and he becomes a father. Now, instead of covering only his expenses, he has to cover his house, his kids, and probably his wife's expenses as well. But his salary only has increased by 10% in the last 5 years. So now, he has to cut down his spending to be able to pay for all the necessary things. His salary keeps increasing, but not as much as he expenses. After many years, Sam decides to retire, but he finds out that he hasn't saved any money for that. So he's left with no other choice but to keep working. On the other side, Jill, 20 years old, with a similar salary as Sam, doesn't want to find herself in the same position when she reaches her 60s. So she decides to save 10% of her income, hoping that by the time she is 60, she can stop working and enjoy her life after 40 years. She manages to save over $140,000. Obviously, that's not enough money to travel the world and cover her expenses for the next 20 years or so. But at least, that's way much better than Sam. Before we get to the third example, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Our third example is Jackie, who is 23 and makes a relatively similar income. She realized that saving 10% of her income is not going to make her financially free anytime soon. And if she wants to see any significant difference, she would have to wait until she's 60. She chooses a different approach. Instead of saving only 10% of her income, she decides to save 25% like the other two examples, assuming that she keeps only investing $9,000 out of her salary. That way, her income is increasing every year. In 10 years, her savings grow up to $90,000. She can withdraw that money and start her own business and maybe retire earlier. Or she can simply keep her investment fund and continuously growing for the rest of her life. That initial savings of $90,000 will grow up to over $300,000 by the time she retires. So compared to Sam and Jill, Jackie will have retired either earlier or will have an amazing retirement later. What sets Jackie aside from the other two is that she knew if she would sacrifice 10 years of her life now, she will be able to live the rest of her life however she wants. The point here is that you should know why you want to save money in the first place. Most people are giving up saving because they don't see exactly why they are saving in the first place. So the ultimate goal should be to achieve the financial freedom to pay yourself first without even spending a single penny out of your income. Place aside a percentage of it into a savings account. Think of it like a tax you must pay to be able to exist in this world. You're not allowed to spend this money anywhere, but only to be invested later. Let's have a glance at 3 tips that will allow you to save tons of money every month. Tip 1. Focus the next 30 days to writing down every transaction you make. That way you will have a detailed understanding of how exactly you spend your money, and you can cut off your expenses on those areas that don't have a positive effect on your life. Tip 2. Instead of buying a coffee every morning, you can make that yourself and save somewhere around $60 to $100 every month. Tip 3. Instead of driving or using public transport to get to your job, get a bike and save thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands every year, assuming that cars get broken after years of usage. Personally, I'm a fan of the electric bikes. They feel like freedom. Usually we get super excited when we are willing to buy something new, but over time, that excitement goes away. It's like when you buy a new font, and the first couple of days you might still be excited about that. But then you know what happens? It just becomes normal. The habit of waiting longer before buying expensive things can be a helpful one. Avoid the regret of buying things you don't really need. Bonus tip: use cash whenever you want to buy something. Always use cash instead of a debit or credit card. Whether you're ordering food in a restaurant or getting something from groceries, handing over a $20 bill is a lot harder than just swiping your card, simply because when you swipe your card, it feels like you're spending a lot less over time. You will become a smarter spender and you will buy more of what you need and less of what you want. So these are a few ways that will help you to start saving money the right way. I hope that you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. It will help a lot and I will appreciate it. See you in the next one.